So we are back with another week of ARL racing in MX bikes, and this week's race was a special one, and it was Redbud. Man, Redbud is just so iconic. I don't really know why, but it just is, and it's probably the most hype track of the calendar. The racing was okay, like Moto 1. I did not do well. I did not get a good flow, and part of that is because I just got killed in the start, and part of that I think is because I did quali on the TM because that bike is just so fast, and then I started riding the KTM in the races, and I spent like one lap on the KTM, so I was not really used to the KTM yet, and also I was a bit frustrated because I was taken out so many times in the beginning, but managed to get 20th Moto 1 and going 13 actually in Moto 2. I actually placed 1 point behind my teammate Niko, which you will hear a little bit later in the video, and kind of his views on the track and the race. But yeah, and I ended up going 2013 and Niko went 1814. So we were pretty close, like we're kind of the same speed, and that's just so sick to have like someone to race with and that are that close. So it's really sick. Could have wished for a better Moto 1 finish, but it is what it is. However, the thing that made this race so fun in my opinion was just the road. They ran a little higher a road than they usually do in all the other races, and it just forced us to change lines because the road got so bad in some corners that it was very hard to ride in the road.
A couple of riders towards the back of the field getting picked up in a bit of an incident there. H7 rider Niko here, looking fresh on the TM, keeping himself clean. We've got Sveppy there as well. Also an H70 Redbud kit. We'll love to see it.
To be honest, Redbud, I don't know, like, it looked like there was multiple lines, but for the racing side of things, like, it was pretty dominant, like, one line, especially when it came, like, to Moto 1, like, especially, like, after mechanics area, everyone was taking inside, then right after, you went inside again, going down that ski jump down the hill, and everyone was going outside. It's like everyone was kind of just funneled together. So like, I mean, they say it every week, like you need a good start, but like you really needed a good start here because everyone was really doing the exact same thing. To be honest, after that, like during the race, I didn't really mess it up that much, but the leap, you just had to make sure you got the leap every single time because it's so crucial, especially on a 250, because second moto, when it came second moto, like no one was hitting the leap, so it kind of took that factor out of the way. So kind of to set yourself up for a good overall, you kind of needed to get a good first moto.
And I messed up the leap so many times, like I went over the corner twice.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it was so crucial to get the leap, because once when the leap got eroded enough, like I don't think anyone Moto 2 even attempted it. I think immediately everyone just went to the far inside and just doubled it and scrubbed it hard.
I watched the stream back, and there were like 2 people sending the leap like the first few laps, but they just cased it so hard.
I had a lot of trouble actually in the turn before the rollers, because the first half of the turn, it was kind of weird. It's like normal soil, and then it kind of transitioned to sand. So I was kind of like going over the berm a lot, especially in the first moto. But once when like a rut kind of developed, it was kind of easy. And then besides that, the rollers themselves weren't that hard. It was just obviously just carrying momentum. And then the Jet Lawrence line, like the double before the finish, like that one was pretty straightforward. So, but once when second moto came around, like I don't know, I feel like that's where the good people actually shine. Because I mean, me and you, we were literally dead last Moto 2. We were dead last, and we worked our way up to you finished 13th and I finished 14th. I was just consistent the second moto. Besides when we got absolutely destroyed in the second moto at the start, I think I fell like once after that. I couldn't tell you where, but like literally I was just locked in the entire time. And I felt comfortable too, and that was when the track was at its gnarliest too. And then people said the TM, not that good in E-Road. I mean, I did feel some differences between the TM and the KTM, because I went on the track after and E-Roaded it on purpose and went on the KTM. It did feel a little better, but I don't know, the TM, it kind of got me out of certain situations too, just because of the speed. It's not always about like how comfortable the bike is in E-Road, because sometimes if your bike's just fast enough, it'll just go right through it, if I'm being honest. So, I mean, if they ban the TM, it's not the end of the world, but I would say people will get a little bit pissed in a way, because there's actually some diversity in the game now. Like, it's not just KTM anymore. Like, it's people are using different bikes now, so it's kind of whatever bike you want to use, really.
At least we have two.
And I like that.
At least we have two bikes now, right?
Yeah.
No, but
Even,
for
I mean, even the Husky, you could even use the Husky if you want.
Yeah,
it's good too.
there were like one guy using the Husky, I think.
Yeah,
He
literally,
finished,
I
like,
counted. It was
in
just
front of
one
me.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he finished in front of us.
Yeah, but I feel like the Husky is just a little bit worse in the E-Road compared to the KTM,
Yeah.
though.
I will say though, Cupcake even said it on the stream. They turned up the E-Road a little bit.
Yeah.
They had it at 0.08.
But I kind of
Yeah, I
like
mean,
that, though.
No, yeah, it was good. Like it really actually forced us to take different lines, because you generally couldn't take the same lines Moto 1. I don't think, maybe a few corners I kept the same line, and then even after the finish line itself, people would rail the outside like Moto 1, even at the start of Moto 2, but then everyone slowly but surely just started moving to the inside. So the E-Road, it honestly wasn't that bad. It was pretty good, if I'm being honest, because it actually made us change lines.
Yeah, I think the E-Road though is what make the track fun to race. I don't think I would
Yeah.
have enjoyed it if we just took the same lines for 1 hour straight.
Yeah, and it kind of the skill gap too, and the race
Yeah,
IQ. Like
100%.
you have the you need to have the awareness to like, okay, I need to change lines now, because I'm either gonna lose time, or I'm gonna hit a kicker and I'm just gonna go flying. So, especially with me, because I was being careful, because I've never actually raced the TM. I've only done like laps with it. I've never raced it. I really wanted to make sure I didn't fall or hit a kicker, because the narratives that it's not good in E-Road, I just wanted to make sure I was on two wheels, and I did that. It was my best finish ever, 14th in a moto. So
Yeah, that's kind of
Which,
why I went with the KTM, just because I know how it races. Like, I know this setup, I have a good setup on it.
yeah, like
But-
if I'm able to race Millville, like I will probably ride the TM again. I'll probably do it again. I'm at this section right now. You know that that uphill triple, like where
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get that good run, like the straightaway. The far outside, that rut. Oh my gosh! I remember in the race, like it was literally just dragging, like your foot pegs or whatever. Like at one point, I literally was stuck in the rut because I couldn't like drive out of it. I literally had to push my bike. I mean, it didn't take long, but I was literally getting stuck. I had to push it out, so I literally had to switch lines, which is good. So,
Yeah, that corner was like fully eroded.
but I didn't mind that though,
No, I took it like
because in
every lap.
previous weeks, no, yeah.
So you can
Because in
make
previous
it work.
weeks, yeah, because in previous weeks, I would honestly think that corner would have held up. I mean, it did hold up, but in previous weeks, it would have held up even better, and everyone would just took it every single lap. I
Yeah.
had to switch lines, or else I literally would have probably kept going over the corner and kept falling.
Yeah, I just didn't like the inside lines on that corner, so I just stuck with the
So,
outside.
yeah.
And one thing that made this race really fun, in my opinion, is just how much road they had, because they had a lot more road on this race than they usually have. And you can see this is literally 3 minutes, so like probably like second lap of the Moto2, and this outside is already destroyed. And people are already switching lines. Like this outside was the main line through qualifying and through the whole Moto 1. And I just think it's just so nice that you can switch lines, because either you risk taking the outside and you have to ride the road, or you take the less good line, right? And you go to the inside. So you kind of also have to have this racecraft now where you have to decide when to switch lines. Because before we just took the same line because the road didn't get so bad. And here is another thing that made this race so fun, is because this is so eroded on the outside here, people started to actually go inside here. Because the outside here was the main line in qualifying and Moto 1. And you can see we're only 3 minutes in to Moto 2, right? So this is very early in Moto 2 and people are still switching their lines this early. And that we have not seen in any other races this year at least. Alright, so that's kind of Niko's point of view from the races. But yeah, let's go through some lines, and the first thing I want to look at is the jet line, or what we call jet line from the IRL racing. And basically what we do is, in this roller section, we basically just double the last, like kind of out of the section. So this is kind of the last roller, right? Or what I would consider the rollers. And what we do if we play it is that we double into the corner here, just to shorten the distance in this chicane section before the finish, right? And the technique that I found that really worked for me is that we get a jump off of this bump or this roller, right? So you see we cannot jump over here, over this, and we cannot land on this a little bit flatter section before the last roller. And if we get a good landing, we have all this section to accelerate and set up for the jump, right? So this is really important to get this jump right here. Once we got that correctly, then we just want to angle ourselves correctly, right? So let me just get in game and I'll show you. So let's kind of go through the jet line kind of in first person. And I have my controller overlay on so you can see what I'm doing with my sticks. But the first thing you want to do is of course get a good corner. I like to go in third and then just trying to get my front wheel over these rollers, right? Like. So let's go through the jet line and kind of this whole roller section in first person once. So yeah, first we want a good corner. You have to be a little bit careful. We want to get the front tire over these rollers. But for this roller, we want to get down so we can jump and land on the kind of flat one. And so we can have a good drive. So let's go through it again. So have a good corner, lot of speed, get over these rollers, then get down here for the first last, jump over that, and then get the right angle for the jet line. So what we do here, see coming here, getting over the rollers here. But once we get to about here, you can see we're going down into this, in between these rollers, right? We go down in between these rollers, so we can get a pop off of this roller right here. So we can land on these flatter rollers here. See, we land here. We have a lot of time to accelerate. And then we just get the right angle and we just jump over it. So a advanced thing you can do out of the corner is that we can kind of scrub out of the corner just to get a better traction with the rear wheel. Kind of like that. And the reason we want to do this is because it's going down after the corner, right? So if you're just going straight out of the corner, you're going to jump and you're going to land on the uphill of this roller here, right? So what we do is we come here, you see a lot of lean angle going high on the berm, and then we kind of scrub the over this top of here, right? And you can see my back tire is kind of staying on the ground all the time, so I can keep accelerating because I can't accelerate when my rear tire is off the ground, right? So that's a thing you can do to just get this a little bit more speed out of the corner. And you can do that on the inside as well. I did that a lot during the race.